Okay. Cool. I think we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SRL. We had a week off, but we are back here in Mexico, the Circuit Autodrome home. Hermanos Rodriguez. Hopefully, I said that right. My Spanish isn't fantastic, but yeah, here, and it's somehow raining in Mexico, which isn't a normal thing. Usually, it's piping hot here in Mexico, but tonight we've got some rain for you guys. Hopefully, you're enjoying. Hopefully, you're back for SRL round number 18 here tonight. So hopefully, you're enjoying. Hopefully, you have a good evening. You know, I know the rugby's on, but you know, I'm sure this is far more entertaining than rugby. But just the guys just doing their laps. But yeah, it's raining. Joe, or the Amazing, is here. She's going to get a drink, so he'll pop back any second now. But these guys are just on there. I don't think these guys would have really practiced in the rain. Like I said, usually Mexico is not somewhere that rains much, so maybe they didn't bother with practice in the rain. So that'll be interesting to see. We're on board with Antsmaz as he comes down the second of 2 DRS straights. So not the greatest calendar. Oh, sorry, we're not the greatest race on the calendar here in Mexico. But, you know, usually tracks that don't provide much entertainment in real life do provide a lot of entertainment in the F1 game. So hopefully we have a good race here tonight. Who else have we got? Drawmaster ahead of him. Jason, the championship winner, is here as well. His rival Ted is also racing, so that'll be good to see. But there is, excuse me, there is still battling in the league for other positions. I'll get the tables up in a little bit and we'll discuss that if it comes to it later on. But just coming through the lovely stadium section we have here, where they do have the podium in Mexico with all the fireworks and the rest of it. So that would be good to see at the end of the race. But these guys are slowing down, ready to start their laps. And I'm not quite sure what a lap is here in Mexico. I know a dry lap, so that isn't really much help. It's a 1:14, 1:15 here for the dry, but I have no idea what it is for the wet. If anyone in the chat knows the time for a dry lap, that would be a wet lap. That would be fantastic for me to know. I know this is bad commentary, but you know I didn't expect it to rain in Mexico, so I didn't bother finding a time for a wet practice in Mexico. But who else is near the starting their lap? I don't know who's the leading car here. Maybe Reynolds, but keep an eye on his car's lagging around a little bit. But Joe, you seem to be back. Have you included your audio?
Yep, I needed the toilet as well, as it turns out, as well as getting a drink, so get out of the way. I see the rain just as it started and it triggered me. So, do you not know what an intermediate time is? I mean, I don't fully know, but I know a full wet time is low 28s, maybe high 27s, so I can imagine inters is 25s, 24s maybe. That's my guess.
Currently 1:28.
Be a bit quicker, wouldn't it?
So
yeah, that's poor.
Yeah, we haven't had. You say that though, but Ted's done a 1:30, and he's one of the front runners. Jason is just finished off a lap, so see how he does. 27. So they're not hitting the 25s yet.
I don't know. It'd be a guess, but it sounds good.
It just sounds good. But yeah, nothing has really happened yet, Joe. So you haven't missed out on much as of yet. Just doing their first initial lap, so they'll come in and then we can see some more times. Hopefully, times tumbling here in Mexico. But Joe, Mexico not usually the most exciting race on the calendar in real life F1, but hopefully it's a little bit different in the game here.
On this game, it seems to be quite a good track for racing. One of the better ones, actually. I know in the middle sector's not that hard to stay behind someone with the dirty air. It's only one of the corners you really have to lift for, so it'll be should be an exciting race. And what is it very interesting around here, because we don't know what the weather's going to be like for the race. It was a fully dry race. The difference between a 1 and a 2 stop, I actually think the 2 stop's quicker. And this might be one of the very few tracks which I feel like it is going to be quicker. It's not a hard track to pass this, so be interested to see what tyres people start. And if you start an ultra soft, you are committing to a 2-stop, I reckon. Ultra soft isn't that possible. And it is and it isn't.
Yeah, well, keep an eye on that with their strategies. But yeah, let us know who you are supporting. But you got Bosley in the chat, the F2 driver, my AOR F5. I wouldn't call it not a teammate, but competitor. There we go. Yeah, let us. But anyone else watching, let us know who you think. But currently, we've got 10 drivers who have set the lap. Smithson is the last man yet to set a lap. He comes around the final bend, going very sideways on the final bend, and he only gains one position, 29.5. So, yeah. Do you think, Joe, I was thinking, I know in real life F1, these guys struggled with the altitude, and that caused the lack of overtaking on the straight. Do you think the game has programmed that, or is it not that advanced?
No. No, because in real life, in a strange way, this is a very high downforce track. So the lack of altitude means, of course, less airflow, which means a lot less drag, which is why Red Bull won here and pretty much dominated here last season in the real life race. And you wouldn't expect that with 2 long straights. I know the last sector would suit them on paper. Very long straight. Expect this to be a power circuit, one which Mercedes dominate, but they were. I mean, Hamilton was nowhere near the pace in qualifying, was he? And obviously nowhere in the race. So, yeah, the game doesn't recognise that. I don't think it makes too much of a difference. It makes for good racing. I mean, Brazil would be another track which has that, but nowhere near as profound. So, yeah, no, I get what you mean by that, but the game isn't that clever.
Yeah, maybe the F1 2018 would be a bit clever, but I haven't got my hopes set on that, unfortunately, with the game that's been provided this year. Yeah, they're not definitely not high, but to me it looks like it started. Is it stopped raining? Can't tell from this spectator.
No, it's a few little drops, but I mean, this is just about as bad as it gets with 4 minutes to go. I think it has actually stopped raining, Chick. I think you're right. This is just about the worst it can get, because it doesn't look like it's quite ready for dries. So you have to go on inters. And if it starts drying up a little bit, the inters might start overheating, you're going to slide a bit more, you're just going to be losing lap times. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody stays in the pits long enough. Has Gorsh just retired from the session? Has he crashed? Yeah. Oh, he has.
Just before the stadium section, it looks like.
Yeah, easy to get wrong in the wet, and the dry as well, but especially in the wet. Yeah, it's gonna be that awful situation where inters might just drop off the cliff and the wets might not have enough grip. I'd say it'd be interesting to see if anybody stays into the pits for as long as they can and then gamble on a set of dries. Maybe someone, who might be considered a bit more of a backmarker might attempt the risk and end up with a surprise pole position. It's a bit like AOR Canada this, the qualifying. I don't know if you see that tune, where it got pole, I think got pole, bloody boring bastard. But yeah, that was a bit like this. I think Carl Mitchell actually got 3rd, which is like unheard of. So
yeah, I don't usually catch the AOR races because I'm actually racing, unfortunately. I'm trying to get a track map up, and the layout they've given me on this track map is really confusing. I can't figure out. Oh, I see it. Oh.
I need a track map up.
I'll just Google track map.
Oh, Google.
Yeah, sorry.
I thought you
that
could
would
do
be
that
great,
in
actually.
the settings on the game.
That would be really good. That's great. If everyone are listening, Codemasters, add a track map in spectator mode. That would be brilliant.
Yeah, full track map, bottom left.
Yeah, that would be perfect if you could have something like that. No, it was giving me the old circuit, and I was getting really confused. But because of course this track had a brief stint off the calendar. Do you remember what year? Between what year this track wasn't on the F1 calendar?
92 was the last one, and 2015 was the first reinstated one.
You were so close. It was 93 to 2014.
93?
Yeah. Well,
oh, no,
Wikipedia.
No, right. 92. Right. 92 was the last race they raced there.
Right.
They didn't do one in 93. They didn't do one in 2014. Like, I think between them years it wasn't run, is what it's trying to say. And 92 was the last race, and 2015 was the first race.
F1 facts wrong with Chukemaster 22. Week number 3. That hasn't gone well, has it?
I'm
My
not
classic
even looking, but I just do know that 92 was the last race.
I will double
There.
check this, and is it? All I can see. No, you are right. It says 1986 to they changed the circuit name, and it was at 86 to 92, and then 93. Yeah, okay, yeah. I get it. I got it wrong again. Yeah, ignore what I'm saying, guys.
I don't know why I've not got a mastermind yet and just chosen F1 as my subject. I'd win it.
Yeah, you classic F1, and I think you'd be great.
Very obscure F1 facts.
Is that a category? Can you ask for that? Obscure F1 questions, please.
I mean, Jason's managed to improve his time to 27. Well, I don't think it's as quick as what I thought it would be. I thought the difference between an Inter's time and a full wet time would be more than a second, but wrong. Maybe they're just all really slow, and I'd be able to set a 25. Who knows? I doubt it, but who knows?
Who knows? I reckon I probably could do
maybe
like a 24.
My lap brilliantly.
Yeah, maybe. You turn that setting off so you could get away with it. But yeah, the session's finished, so Jason currently on pole. As we talk about classic F1 races, Jason has put it on pole by 6/10 of a second, and it has dried out. Just double check the tyres. If anybody's gone on, they're also on the Inters. It does look there's a lot of spray, from what I can gather on screen. But anybody else near the end of their lap? Strawmaster comes around the final bend. And he does a 27.7, put him up to P3 for now. Let's see if Ted's a little bit further back. What about Jason? Jason is coming through the stadium section now as a lovely banana car getting out of the way for him. But he comes around the final bend. Where will Jason... Well, will Jason improve? That is the question here. And will Ted be able to... Or anybody else in that fact be able to catch him? Jason comes across the line, and he does 2/10 quicker with a 26.9. Do we think that's going to be beaten, Joe?
Yeah. Well, Ted finishes a lap, but he's still a second off Jason, so nobody's seeming to get close. I think everyone's even finished. It's only Reynolds, actually, which it says he's on it. Well, I don't think he's going to improve going on board with him. I don't think it will be. So, yeah, Jason's got pole by probably the biggest margin this season. I can't imagine anybody's got pole by more than 8/10. And Melanie's got a second on the grid, so you wouldn't expect that. You would expect Ted to be maybe second, quite a bit closer to Jason, but it's just not worked out for him. I just think there's a good bit of motivation gone for this game as well. I don't think anyone's really practiced for this race. I'll be honest, nobody particularly, especially like the end of the seasons. I can't imagine anyone's doing like a second season on a lot of leagues, so.
Yeah, Reynolds. Some little stunt driving for us on the broadcast cam. But yeah, I think I agree with you, Joe. A lot of people have sort of slowly decreased their practice amount. I think especially here in SRL, purely because the championships round up. So Jason on pole with Melanie in second, who was on podium last week, 2 weeks ago in the USA. Drawmaster in third, Ted fourth, Bolton fifth. Most Ronin, hopefully I said that right, in sixth. Gorsh seventh, Smithson eighth, Ansmouth ninth, Reynolds 10th, and Expert Almond rounds off the 11 drivers we have here in Mexico.
Could have been 12. Could have been 12.
It could have been 12, yeah. You're still being salty about not racing.
Yeah, I'm still bitter. I actually wanted to, because I actually like Mexico in this game. I don't think I would, but it's actually quite enjoyable to drive, as I feel like we're going to have a fully dry race. Blue skies, can't see any clouds. It's looking promising. Is that a bit of, what is that? There's something on the right of my screen. I can't tell if it's like a really weird flag or a bit of like dirt on my screen. You got that? I think it's a flag flapping about.
It's flying.
Is it a bird?
Oh no, it's a camera.
Is that a camera?
It's
a camera.
It's a camera.
I get it now.
Oh wow, we are smart here in the SRL commentary box. It's a camera they have in every single one. Yeah, it did look like a spaceship flying over the pit straight.
I thought it might be like a bird or something. I don't know. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's
a camera.
It's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a good camera view of the formation lap. Hopefully, they've turned it on. They have.
They have.
Actually, this will be very interesting. What tyres has everyone gone on?
Looks like.
Interesting. So Jason on pole opting to go on supers. That's a bit of a strange choice. Maybe he just wants to do an easy one stop. I mean, supers off the start. It's not even that easy. I mean, it is, but it's not that quick. I still think 2 stops is the way to go, but anybody who's on ultras is committing to a 2-stop near enough. As 4 people have been kicked from the formation up already. It's fantastic. SRL actually opted to go on the soft, so rate that. I rate that. He's up, so he may as well just get the slower, more durable tyre out the way. See how long he can go into this race before he probably fits on a set of supers. And just trying to think of what laps people will pit. So it depends what super soft runners do, because they're flexible. They can do 1 or 2 stops. If they're 1 stop in 14, 15, maybe 16, then I mean, Experiment will go to about lap 20, 21 if he's going to go on supers, and then ultra soft runners, they can do anything. They could pit as early as lap 6 or 7 for a 2 stop. I don't know, Chew.
Oh wow,
it's gonna be entertaining though.
Hopefully, yeah. I know we've only got 11 drivers, but hopefully we have a great race. It looks like Bosley wants Melanie to win here in Mexico. I don't know. I think I might fancy Jason purely because of his lead he got in qualifying.
Yeah, well, of course he's on a pad, isn't he? So it's a bit easier for him in the wet compared to some of the wheel drives. Of course, we've got to watch out for Melanie and Jawmaster on the ultra, so it's going to get a good start here. But here we go, Chew.
Yeah, here we go. The lights are coming on. That's 3, 4, 5 red lights for the Mexican Grand Prix, round number 18. And it's lights out, and we have a bit of a delay there, but it's a good start from everybody, nice and clean. Looks like a Renault, very delayed at the start there. But it looks like Ted and Jawmaster side by side, and Melanie's almost 3 abreast coming towards turn 1. Jason is looking as they come down towards turn number 1 and 2. Melanie holds the inside line. Can he get Jason? Doesn't look like, but that is Jawmaster around the outside of Melanie, and he's up into second already. It's contact, and Jason is round! Jason's been spun by, looks like that was Jawmaster. So Jason down to 11th place now, but Melanie currently leads this race with Reynolds up into second, Jawmaster third, Ted in 4th, and Most Ronin in 5th, sorry.
That was Reynolds got into second. He started 10th, Duke, on the grid. So Reynolds with the start of the season, I don't know how he's done that, but well, that is massive drama. Jason so consistent across the entire season. I know the championship has been wrapped up, but he's got it all to do now. I don't think he sustained any wing damage, which might just save him here, but well, Jawmaster's left as well, so person who started in P3 is left, so Melanie making the most of it, and well, pretty much everybody else has profited except for, say, Jason and Jawmaster. I mean, Gorge has lost 3 positions, Bolt has lost 3 positions, but everyone else has gained as Melanie sets the fastest. Well, obviously he's going to set the fastest start as most Ronin pits. Don't know why.
Yeah, that was a crazy start. I think Jawmaster had a bit of contact in turn 4 and 5, I think, with one of the cars battling for the front, so they caused him to retire, it looks like. But Melanie a bit of a bad exit out of there as they come on to the second of two DRS straights. Can Reynolds go down the inside? Pops it down the inside. It was a little bit of wheel bashing there, but Menley keeps in the lead for now. I think we're going to be here for a tasty battle, Joe. I'm really looking forward to this now, with Jason all the way down in 7th after having been spun. I believe it was Reynolds that may have spun him, but we'll have to talk after. Reynolds gets a 3-second penalty already after only 2 laps. That is really going to counter against him at the end. Oh, he's in the wall!
Oh, what have you
Back
done?
right. Oh,
Oh,
dear.
dear. Well, he's had an eventful 1.5 laps. As Reynolds.
Definitely.
As, as well, that gives Melanie a lot of breathing space. I had a look at the race directive. What Jawmaster did get a warning for colliding with Jason, so maybe just his move, he just didn't really look. See what Jason wants. DRS is enabled for the first time. I think Jason is right on the back of Expert Ulman as well. He'd want to dispatch the McLaren driver on the slowest compounder tyre straight away. I can imagine he's going to dive up the inside of turn 1. I don't think Ulman's really going to fight this one. Yeah. Gets out of the way nice. I mean, Jason, despite being spun around at the start, is in 5th place, too. That just shows how crazy the first couple of laps have been.
Yeah, these first 2 laps have been absolutely mental here in Mexico, and I think it does definitely help that most Ronin and I think it was Gorsh pitted after the first lap. I think they had damage on their cars, so that's helped Jason out. And of course, Reynolds and Drawmaster pulling out after Reynolds' incredible crash into the wall in Sector 2. That definitely helped Jason out. So he's still 2 positions off the podium, so he's still got a lot of work to do on his hands, a champion. But everyone a little bit spaced out for now with all the crazy action we had at the start of the race. But Menely currently leads the race with Ted in second. We haven't actually seen much of Ted. He was there at the start, but he could also win this race, get some redemption. He hasn't won a race in a while here in SRL. When was his last win? Ted last won in Malaysia, so it's been a while. He has been on the podium plenty of times, but Melanie, who currently leads this race, I think Bosley's spotted Melanie tonight, but he has yet to win a race this season, so it'd be great to see if he could stay in front and win it here without trying to be biased in the commentary box. But he has had 1 or 2 podiums. It was on a podium last week in the USA, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. But Jason is really the man to keep an eye on, Joe, with him trying to make his way back up onto the podium.
Yeah, he's really closing in on Smithson out in front. I was about to say Ted's on the super soft tyres as well. I didn't really notice. I was just checking again to see what tyres people were on. So Ted's actually in a really good position. I can imagine he'll start reeling in Melanie over the next few laps as Ultrasoft begins to die. But it'll be interesting to see what Ted and Jason do with their strategies. I mean, the Ultrasoft runners, I feel like, are committed to do a 2-stop. I mean, Expert Ulman did start on the softs, as I say, probably 1 stop. Very interested to see what Ted and Jason do. I mean, Ted, if I remember rightly, in the F1 League race, did do a 2-stop. I know he started in Ultras, but he did do a 2-stop, and it worked out very well for him, so hope he's got that back of his mind. I want to see Ted do well. Good friend of Ted, so also do as Smithson is actually fighting Antmass in front, so I don't know if Jason will be happy or not that these two will fight. I mean, he's going to gain on them quick, but he might get stuck behind them too, so yeah.
Yeah, Antmaz got really sideways out of the stadium section. That's allowed. Oh, it was a late lunge from Smithson then. He's got ahead, but can Antmaz go? Oh, is it out of contact then? It's allowing Jason to catch right up with these guys. Oh, that was a late lunge from Smithson there. Caught that on camera. But look how close Jason's got now, Joe. He's right on within half a second of these 2 now.
Yeah, he's caught them at the wrong time as well. Well, not so much the wrong time. I mean, he's not that close to him, but yeah, I think I'll be glad to see Smithson actually getting through, because I feel like if they were battling, then it might have cost him. But of course, Smithson's quite an aggressive driver. We see that in USA last week. We see that with the overtake this week. So it might present a problem or 2 for Jason. He might just wait until Smithson pits. That might be sensible too. I mean, would you be doing the same with that sort of driver in front of you, who you know is going to be stopping soon?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm not very good at overtaking, so that probably would be an option for myself if I knew they're on another strategy. But Jason looks like he's going to go. Makes a little look turn the inside of Antwerp. But yeah, I think I'd leave it, because if you're on the Ultrasoft, I'm sure these guys in these top tiers know their strategy, to know the different options. I'm sure Jason knows when these guys will come into the pits. But it does look he is looking for a move around Antwerp, so we'll keep an eye on that. But Jason up still in 5th for now. Melanie still in the lead. Ted behind him. And it looks like Drawmaster had a screen freeze, Joe, so that's why he is out of the race, unfortunately for him. What else have we got in the chat? Barrow Boy wants a shout out, so there we go, there's your shout out, Barrow Boy. I also know him as Tyler. He's an old school friend of mine. So, yeah, hello, Tyler. Hopefully you're enjoying the race. F1's not really your thing, so I'm not really sure what you're doing here, but as long as you're enjoying, that's the important thing. You're more of a Halo man, but, you know, that's actually coming in next year, but a different sort of Halo. But Jason is very close to the back of Ansem as they come round the final band to start lap number 7. Will we see a move from the champion here? He's right on the back of Ansem. Ansem just outside the DRS, actually, but he still has it, it looks like, but he's not really going to gain much because the gap to Smithson. Jason trying to have to go around the outside, around turn 1. Can he pull the move off? He's going to the outside. Can Ansem hold the inside line? Jason go around the outside. He does. Easy move for Jason, it looks like. But Ansem trying to get him back, actually, but it doesn't look like. Yeah, lose the back end slightly, and Jason up into 4th place now.
Yeah, Antmas doing a little bit of a weave there, the ultra soft tyres. I feel like it's starting to go a bit, say, when he got on the power there, the exit turn 3, just spun up the rears, a bit too eager to get on the throttle. So, yeah, this is where the ultra softs really start to not feel too good, as Ted's got within 2 seconds of Melanie in front. So Melanie's tyre's going to drop him soon. He's going to have to think about pitting. He might even pit this lap. I mean, I know he's got the lead and you could run a conservative strategy, but for somebody in this position, you know, to have never won a race, I know it's very early, you know, early days, yeah, but I feel like he might have to play this one aggressively as he does stay out for another lap. So Ted will be open to get within DRS range in the next couple of laps. It might help him pull along a bit. And Jason is going to be catching up to Smithson. That'll be a good little battle. LS Smithson, Pitts, and everybody else is a bit spaced out now.
Yeah,
bit boring already.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately for us as commentators, Joe, everyone... Oh my, what is going on with Smithson's car? It's all black. Oh no!
What?
Can you not see that?
On my screen.
It's like they're pixelated, but they're black.
Wow, that's a statement.
Can you look? If you look on the Twitch stream, Joe, I have no idea what is going on with Smithson's car.
It looks fine on my screen. I'll be honest.
Hopefully people in the chat will be able to see this. If you go onto the SRL Twitch, you can see what's... It like they're infected.
Okay.
I've never seen that before.
Maybe there's an offensive sponsor on his car. I must mention, Ted's like only half a second behind Melanie, as Melanie actually does stay out for another lap, so Smithson's staying out as well. So the ultra soft runners really struggling here. Only at the end of lap 8, I mean, start at lap 9, and they're fresh as well. So it's a bit strange one. I feel like Ted's going to be shaping up a move into turn 4, probably as Melanie goes wide, and the exit one is going to compromise for 2 and 3 cheat, and I feel like we're going to be seeing a change for the leader.
Yeah, Melanie really struggling on those. You're not even defending the position from Ted. It looks like Ted will take the lead from the Williams driver, and yeah, that is Ted up into 1st place. And I think, like you said, Joe, I think Melanie maybe should have pitted on the on lap number 8.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like running 2 supers to the end is quite quick, so it's definitely... He can't go softs to the end. He just can't. They wouldn't last. I mean, I tried to do 24, and I was on 70% at the end. Wasn't pushing that much. They were really slow. I felt really hopeless towards the end. So, yeah, I feel like 2 supers is the way to go, because ultra softs, you can see, aren't even that good. As Jason is really being held up now behind Smithson. It'd be interesting to see if Smithson does pick, 'cause I can't imagine he'd be able to defend 3rd for too much longer, too.
Yeah, but no one is coming in the pits.
That's strange. Antmas, a couple of seconds behind Jason, doesn't decide to pit either. I don't know what they're doing. They're losing far too much time. Maybe they think the 1 stop is better, but it's not. I mean, if you're on the supers, to go to softs, it's alright. but not ultra soft.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what they're planning here, but Jason right on the back of Smithson battling for the final podium position. Will Smithson go defensive? He doesn't look like Jason looks for a move, but pulls out at last minute there. Doesn't look like he's going to get past at the moment, but he's still battling away, and there's still 26 laps left here in Mexico. But if you guys want to see more action tonight on F1 2017 for round number 18 in Mexico, we do have the PS4 stream starting at 8:30 with Ginger Andy. And if you go on the Twitch of SRL, it will the Twitter page. Just double check if it's on YouTube or it is on. Yeah, it is on YouTube. So Ginger Andy will have the PS4 stream, and that is they have got a great battle for the lead of their championship. So you want to go check out more F1, go check that out at 8:30. That'd be great. But still on board lap 10 with Jason at the moment. Well, finishing off lap 9. He's right on the back of Smithson now. So hopefully we'll see some more overtaking. But that looks like Smithson comes in the pit. So is Menley, Joe.
Yeah, I don't blame them. They look so slow towards the end of that stint. And that's actually interesting. He's staying out for another lap in his old softs. Good job on your plug-in, by the way, there. Really,
good at that.
really been good on that. I believe we see Gorsh make a move on Expert Almond as well. I mean, I didn't see it, but Gorsh on the ultra softs and Almond on the softs. So I don't think Almond's got very good pace here at all, which is strange. You'd expect him to be his softs to be alright. Is interestingly, Melanie only just got ahead of Gorsh now around a pit stop, so Melanie was a net second. So we may well see someone like Expert Almond or Gorsh get in the way of, say, if Jason pits in the next couple of laps. Who knows, Chu? Might spice it up a little bit. Can't imagine it will.
Yeah, I know. We'll have to just talk about something else if it does get a little bit boring, Joe, in the latter stages of this race. But I'll see. Interesting to see whether Ansmaz comes in this lap, trying to do the overcut on Melanie and who was it that was pitted? Smithson. So we'll keep an eye on what the Ferrari driver's doing. Gorsh gets a 3-second penalty as well, but Ansmaz really struggling in the stadium section, so maybe he will be coming into the pits. Will he come in? It looks like he is. So Ansmaz, the Ferrari driver, is in the pits. We'll keep an eye on Melanie. Melanie should be able to get in quite comfortably, but Smithson is the other man to keep an eye on. We'll stay on board with him. He's got Almond and Gorsh up ahead of him. Gorsh will... Has Gorsh come in? I don't think he has he?
No, and I've watched... Well, I've been on board with Expert Almond for the majority of stuff, and Gorsh just ahead of him. Gorsh has not really took much of the track on that last lap. He wasn't really on the track a lot, so I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, I don't think it's lag either. I feel like he's just taken, you know, pre-1992 version of the track or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. You never know with these drivers sometimes what their plan is really. But Ansmaz comes out behind Smithson down in 7th place, 6.1 seconds behind the Mercedes driver. But Ted has the net race lead at the moment, with Jason in second, Melanie third, Gorsh fourth, and Expert Almond in fifth. But Smithson gets a 3-second penalty as well. He was competing for a podium earlier on in the race, so he may have lost it now to Jason, who has yet to have a penalty. But of course, Jason has not pitted, so of course some of these guys have will come in. Once they pit, we can see what was really going on with this race. But Almond still keeping up with Gorsh, but Gorsh is on very worn ultras now, so will Gorsh come into the pit? So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But Smithson getting involved. Gorsh comes into the pit, so it has allowed Smithson, who's already overtaking Almond before the DRS has even been enabled.
Yeah, close. Just mentioned that Melanie did set the fast lap, and of course he went on the super softs as well, so he's committing to a 2-stop. Unless he thinks he can take super softs, 25 laps? No, it's not possible. But yeah, as I mentioned, lots soft runners will probably have to do 2 stops, so they don't shock me. I feel like Ted and Jason are going to go for the 1. They closing in on their pit window. Be interested to see as well if Melanie... I feel like Melanie will jump Ted, because Ted wasn't too far in front of him when they both pitted, so... And see where Jason comes out in relation to, say... I mean, even Smithson, he's only 19 seconds in front of him, and Smithson's going to be quicker. these next 2 laps, or I expect them to be quicker. So we might see round 2 of their little battle.
Hopefully we see some more action. It has died down a little bit here in Mexico, unfortunately, but we usually see this phase of the race in any league race after everybody pits, but it does usually converge back on itself. So hopefully we will have some more action for you guys to watch later on. But we're almost, no, I was just going to say we're halfway, but it's 36 laps, so it's more.
Yeah.
Lap, 18 is halfway.
Oh God.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I do maths.
I mean, I'm not even complaining that. I'm complaining that we're not even halfway. Oh dear.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Oh dear, and there's no one really close to each other. Right, well, I'm trying to think. I can think of something we can talk about. Because I know a lot of people, I mean, SRL's entering this as well, this FIFA thing.
Oh, no, I was waiting for this to come up in conversation.
I know, it's topical. I mean...
Okay.
I mean, the first set of fixtures being released, if you don't know, I can't even remember the name of it, it's some weird long acronym. Let me get it up on Twitter quick.
LPRCC, I think it was called, or something like that.
Yeah, League Racing Pro Clubs Championship. Which don't follow me back, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, of course, that's a thing. I know a lot of leagues are entering. I know some people probably in the chat of what teams. Of course, you're part of what, Noob Journey or
Noob Journey FC.
Journey.
No,
Journey,
okay.
okay.
I'm not. I wouldn't put myself down to that level of the Nubia Journey. That's like playing 8th tier football with that team.
Yeah, so. You know, how you're rating your chances going into league, of course. You've got a derby you're going to have as well.
Well, the question is talking. Well, of course, you're part of the F1 Ticks team, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Joe, we're not playing you until the very final set of fixtures. So
give us a guard of honour.
Well, I think the league has made a mistake there, because if you played us first, you would beat us. But by that point, all our pros will be absolutely amazing, and we can give you a game and win.
All our pros are amazing, so they're going to get amazinger. I'm going to make that a word.
Amazing.
As Ted comes into the pits, too. There's something going on in this race.
Ted is in the pits, so is Jason.
Jason's followed him. Yeah, I feel like they're both going to go on a set of soft tyres now. And soft's going on to Ted's car. Did he hold Ted up a bit? Yeah, soft's going on to both his. Melanie does actually take the lead. And she'll be able. Where's Smithson going to come out in relation to? I think Ted's going to come out quite a bit clear. Is he going to jump Jason? Yes, he is. So
yeah.
Jason's going to have to do that all over again. And then he's actually got a 7-second lead on Ted. This isn't over for Melanie to do something in this race. Of course, he did get a 3-second penalty a couple of laps ago, but it isn't over for him. I mean, he'd only have to gain, say, 12 seconds, which on a brand new set of tyres is possible. So it's not all over, maybe, Chu.
Yeah, it's not all over. And like you said, Melanie will most likely come into the pits again to set another set of ultras on. But yeah, that penalty may count against him, but you never know. Ted may get a penalty. We have seen Ted get penalties in the past in SRL, so he is on the soft tyres. What's Jason on? Jason also on the soft. I don't double check that, just because the game. Yeah, they are soft. Yeah, no, the game does like to play games with you when you look at it on the camera view rather than the telemetry. But yeah, Jason down in 4th. Smithson has gained a place there. So it's still all fair's game at the moment, with the guys up at the front, and not much battling further down, unfortunately. But the guys are very much closer since the pit stops, luckily. Yeah,
it'll be Just trying to think. You mentioned Marion will go on Ultra. I don't think he'll go on Ultra, you know. I reckon if he's smart, he'll bolt on another set of supers. Because you see them Ultra Softs after 8 laps were terrible. Absolutely terrible. The supers actually have a decent pace for about 12, 13 laps and then do drop off a little bit, but it's not that bad. See, I feel like we're going to be seeing this race really come to life maybe in the last few laps. These next few laps are just going to be more, maybe see if Jason can overtake Smiths in the next few laps, but see what happens here. Chip, but mention with the FIFA anyway. We'll go back to that.
Yes, we'll go back to that.
Yeah, who have you got week one actually? I don't even know. I only really checked to see who we got.
Yeah, we've got TWRL's second team first, so we've got a lovely, warm, easy game to start off with, which is lovely for us. So yeah, but we're quietly confident on our chances in this league. I know Rickson bigged us up massively yesterday, so we got to live up to the potential. And yeah, I'd like to. I fancy our chances in this league.
Yeah, I mean we've got the TWL main team who are apparently good. We don't know, but we're the Ticks, so we're bloody massive. So we're gonna win.
Is that just an ironic?
I mean that's it's the Ticks.
Is that meant to stand for something, or are you referencing an actual tick? Like
no, the Ticks.
I'm missing the joke here.
Did you not see them beat City on Monday? Bloody massive.
Oh, I see. Wigan. Right.
Yeah,
I don't look at shit teams, sorry. I look at Premier League teams like Swansea. So, sorry. But anyway, Jason, right on the back of Smithson as they come through Sector 2, through these sweeping corners. Can Jason get in before the stadium section? He looks for a move, but doesn't get it in the end. But Smithson, of course, pit early on for those super soft, so Jason will have he's on the harder compound, but should be able to get past him with he's only pitted 2 laps ago, so Jason come round the final bend to start lap number 19. Ted is also gaining on Melanie as they're going down the straight further on. Can Jason get Smithson? That is the question here as they come down towards turn 1. Jason right on the back. It doesn't really gaining anything here. Maybe a late lunge from the harsh road. Smithson going defensive. Can he go around the outside? Smithson goes back towards the racing line. Jason isn't side by side yet, but he will get a better run through turn 2 and 3 onto the second of DRS, but he's on the curb there, and that may cause him to lose a little bit of a little bit of traction, sorry, but he's still on the back of Smithson, but it's not making any moves yet, Joe.
No, which is I don't feel like this is costing Jason too much, because I can't imagine he might be getting anything better than third this race with the problems he had earlier on. I can't imagine Smithson's going to be gaining a whole pit stop on Jason. He's effectively a pit stop behind Duke now, isn't he? So, yeah. Actually, you're a Swansea fan.
Of course.
I mean, yeah, your season's actually improved. So, it was looking dreadful.
It was, yes. It was looking very dreadful for a long time.
I don't know how you actually pulled that out. So, fair play. Shouldn't be in the Premier League anyway. I don't know how a Welsh team is.
Well, it shows how bad your league is that you've allowed a Welsh team in. So, you can take it as you want. But Jason is going to go round the outside of Smithson as they come towards turn 1. Can Jason pull the move off? It looks like you have yellow flag in sector 3. It looks like most Ronin and Expert Almond are battling away as well, but Jason gets past Smithson. Now he's up into P3. What happened further down? Can't really see. It doesn't look like there's just double check for damage. No, they're both okay, it looks like, at the moment, so they're fine. But yeah, no, Swansea are in the Premier League and will stay there this season, it looks like.
Been better than Cardiff. Anyway, Cardiff are solid. Do you hate Cardiff? Is that a big rivalry?
Do you know, with any rivalry, you want to beat them every season, but you don't want them to go down. Okay, Cardiff might come up this season, and as long as we beat them, they can stay up. But yeah, the thing is, in the history of Swansea versus Cardiff, neither team has ever won both games in a league season. It's only ever been one team has won one of the games. It's never happened. So if we can get that record, that would be fantastic. But we'll have to wait and see. It depends if they come up or not. But you guys are looking like you're going to come up as well from all the way down in League One.
Yeah, I'm going to win the FA Cup as well, which is going to just, It was great. Just the amount of Man City fans on Twitter was fantastic.
It was great to see the salt.
Just after the game because they just expected to go there, tiny little Wigan, and win. You know, of course. I mean, everybody expected that. It was funny. We could all laugh at them. Guess what? Oldman has left. But yeah, we've got I was just mentioning the pro team. We've got TWL's main team who, let's say, they're apparently looking good. I mean, I'm going to enjoy it because I'm there to kill people.
Is that how?
Really, that's my job.
Is that how FIFA works? I thought that was more Call of Duty.
No, you'll be surprised. Your pros don't need legs after you played us. They don't need legs.
We've got a while till we play you, so you know. By that point, like I said, our team is going to be very, very good. Ah, well, I'm sure we will. You may not win, but we'll definitely give you a game. I think you'll win it, even if we can goal different than other than anything. But we should be able to beat you. You're not that hard.
I mean, it's coming from a Swansea fan there, so this is beautiful. I want to point out as well that I don't actually fully support Wigan. It's just an ongoing thing, really. But we'll see. I mean, we've got to play. We can't really say anything till the season, until obviously we see like the league after about 5 games or something, 5 weeks. So yeah, I mean, I wish you all the best of luck. Just don't beat us. Really, beat anyone else.
Oh no, we will beat everybody else. It's fine. As Rickson said, we have some quality players that we'll just dominate. You know, we'll just dominate possession, dominate the heading game, and yeah.
Anything on the tactics you want to discuss? You know, whereabouts you're playing, formations, anything?
I'm playing left back on the bench at the moment for
Smart.
a new journey. No, I'm playing on the wing. So that's all I'm going to give you, unfortunately, Joe. Yeah, I'm on the wing.
4-3-3, 4-4-2. 4-4-2 is hard Brexit formation. Go on, you can share.
We're playing 1-10.
So your goalkeeper's outfield as well.
Yeah.
Smart up front, or is he the lone defender or lone midfielder?
No, well, he's actually shorter than our actual striker. So the striker's in goal because he's 6'8", and the goalie is actually quite good on his feet. So he's playing as the lone midfielder.
Have they ever thought about swapping careers?
I don't really know why. Yeah, he's the goalkeeper. First fancy's in goal. You know, he got picked. Well, the striker actually got picked last, so he had to go in goal. You know, the way football works. You get picked last, you have to go in goal.
I hate that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I was lucky that never happened to me because, you know, I was just a bit too short anyway to go goals. Melanie does pit from on what was the lead. Let's actually go on board and see what tyres he goes on. I can imagine it's supers. It's supers. He's done the smart thing, Duke, so...
So is Smithson coming as well?
Yeah, Smithson quite a wapy eye, and he just completely dropped off the pace, so... I think Amas is in as well. So yeah, it'll now be interesting to see how close Melanie can get to Jason. I think Ted is fairly secure for this race when looking at it. We're interested to see if he can close up 12 seconds on the championship winner. Yeah, winner, not lead. Well, he is the lead. Championship winner.
Both. Yeah.
Jason. There's everyone's still spaced. Why can't I race? Who runs the SRL account? Who runs it?
I believe it's Commando.
Right, Mundo. I would have made this more entertaining. See how boring this is to watch? No one's close. I would have been fighting someone, hopefully.
Well, I mean, if you had left me, Joe, I wouldn't have any banterous commentary to to do. So, you know,
I suppose there's a trade-off, actually. Yeah, you're right. You would have had to have someone else in the commentary box, maybe.
I don't think anybody's around, so I don't think we could have.
No, what's happened to the other commentators? They've died.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea where the rest of the commentators are. We did have Ringrose, but he's now doing I think iRacing commentary on a Friday. Rudsters doesn't talk. Diablo is gone off the face of the earth.
I mean, yeah, he appears, disappears, reappears, disappears. Long statement on Twitter, disappears, appears. Long statement on Twitter. It's back and forth. I don't understand, really.
Yeah. It does seem to be all over the place, and I haven't heard it from him in a while, so I'm not really sure what I think he's got a real job now, so he's a bit busy. But yeah, it just seems that the lack of commentators have just dropped significantly recently, and there aren't many of us left, Joe.
No, we're dying breed. I think it's just the game as well. It's killing people's motivation to race and to actually, commentate. I mean, I don't know if you are still involved, like actually race. I don't think you race in the Noob Journey. I've not seen too much of it.
I'm not
I don't
bad
even know
enough.
what goes on with it.
No, we've just finished our season, actually. We've finished round 15, and the championship was unfortunately round up at round 13, so the last two races didn't mean anything, like in SRL, unfortunately. But yeah, we finished the Noob Journey, so yeah, it's just a process of me editing and getting the highlights out. But Jason gets a 3-second penalty, so that may count against him. 6.8 seconds at the moment, 10 laps to go. Who are you fancying then, Joe? Ted and Jason both on the same strategy. Jason now has a 3-second penalty. Can Jason do it, or will Ted get it, or even Melanie further back? And he is gaining on Jason.
I don't know. I don't really know. I feel like the battle we want to go on board with is Smithson against Gorsh. Gorsh on quite old sauce. Smithson on very brand new supers. Good wording, Joseph. But I can't imagine this would be too much of a fight. But I'm interested to see how aggressive Gorsh is defending, whether just let Smithson go do probably the smart thing. But I can't imagine him doing the smart thing.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on this. It is, and Smithson gets another penalty, so that's 6 seconds racked up for him. So it doesn't look like he's going to get on the podium anytime soon, but we've got a great camera angle from, I believe it's a helicopter travelling super fast to keep up with these F1 cars. But Melanie sets a new fast lap of 18.4, and yeah, we'll keep an eye on this battle. But Joe, as the F1 cars have just been released, and we're on the topic of F1, which car is your favourite so far?
McLaren.
For McLaren, straight up McLaren.
Don't want an argument. Yeah, I mean, I've always been a die-hard McLaren fan, so I'm obviously going to be a bit biased. But even if I wasn't, that's the best one by a mile. It's orange, and it actually looks quite cool as well. It
does, yeah. I think I have to agree with you, actually.
I like the Red Bull livery, but we all know it's a one-off. They've even said it's a one-off. That's going to change, so it's a bit unfortunate. As Smith is actually going around the outside of Gorsh. Yeah, Gorsh doesn't really leave him any room whatsoever. Smithson says, no, nonce, and forces Gorsh out wide as well, so Gorsh got as good as he gave there defending from Smithson. It was never going to work for too long. Drive off into the sunset. That's allowed Antmas actually to catch right up to them. So he's been watching out of a good amount of intent.
Yeah, and Antmas is on that fresh set of super softs as well. So we'll keep an eye on that little battle. But let us know which your favourite livery was with these new F1 cars. Of course, we're still waiting on, technically the Red Bull and Force India, the last two. Smithson weaving show how bad. I presume he's annoyed at Gorsh for his driving skills there in turn 4 and 5. But yeah, I think I have to agree with you, Joe. It's got to be the McLaren, and I personally quite like the Alfa Romeo Sauber as well.
I actually like that.
I think the Ferrari's very basic. I think too much red, funny enough. I know that sounds silly, but Yeah, it reminds me of the '07 Ferrari.
Yeah, which coincidentally, Kimi won the championship in. So
Yeah.
if that's ever an omen. Trying to think of the other cars. Well, Williams, it's all right. I mean, I don't know what everyone was expecting with that. I quite like the Renault actually. The Renault. I mean, they've changed the livery. I guess a lot more black than yellow now. I quite like it. I really do like that.
The one thing that annoys me about the Renault is the colour yellow on the car doesn't match the driver's suits. So I don't really know what's going on there.
I don't know. Maybe they ran out of that style of yellow in B&Q. You never know.
Maybe, yeah. But Codfield. That's what I'm on about. I'm sorry. Ilri just said Codfield in the chat, and it's just that's been stuck in my brain. But Gorge Crab, there we go. They're both water animals, so it's close enough. But Ansmaz will look like, well, he will get Gorge as they come down towards turn 1 easily. On the brakes, but he's gone deep there. Oh, he's got a bit of contact there as well. But it looks like he's going to get him on the switchback. But Gorge still ahead for now. Most Ronin will get the fast lap of 17 flat. But can Gorge kill the position? He's pushed. He's done that again to another driver. Oh, and these rounds.
It's only fair. He's going to wait up for him. Yeah, this is I don't want to be like chatting shit about drivers here, but I feel like I remember Gorsh doing this to me in a race. What race was it? I know I actually raced in SRL, Abu Dhabi. I remember now. Because Matiz won by about 42,100 years. And I got on the podium. It was actually the best podium interview ever, by the way, if you want to listen to that one. But I remember he was on very old tyres. Not very old. Yeah, very old tyres. And he doesn't know the braking limits change when your tyres are a bit worn. Which I feel like is what's happening here. You know, you can't be doing what he's... I mean, he's got every right, you know, to take that line if the car isn't as alongside as what them two were, but they were quite a way alongside. I just looked as well. Melanie's not really closed up to Jason as much as what I thought he would shoot. There's only 6 and a bit laps left. So the gap's still 8.7, 8.6. Can't imagine much changing there.
Yeah, it's not really closing down, but it looks like the top 3 all have penalties now, Joe. So they're all battling for position. No penalties will come into play because they've all got 3 seconds at the moment. But with 6 laps to go here in Mexico, Melanie in 3rd, Ted leading and Jason in 2nd at the moment. Smithson down in 4th, Ansmaz 5th, Gorsh in 6th, Most Ronin in 7th. He goes a bit wide there through sector 2. Bolton in 8th and Almond in 9th. Yeah, that's just Bolton letting Ted pass, but whatever happens, these guys will all get points, so that will be handy for them. I'm just double checking if it will change anything in the standings in the season 5 of SRL, aren't we? So will we see any changes? Doesn't look like we will. Melanie will gain a lot on and anything else going on here? I think that's it actually. Yeah. Fortunately.
Yeah, Gorsh pitted in that time as well and managed to speed into the pit lane and get himself 5 seconds stop and go, which will get a game or 2. And on fresh ultras, so he might get within 5 seconds. I don't know. It might be close, but silly mistake there. Of course, Gorsh probably couldn't get his softs to the end, which is a shame. But yeah, that's his race pretty down the drain. I expected the 2-stop to be a lot better anyway, Chu. I really expected Melanie to be a lot quicker than what he is in relation to the guys in front of him. I'm quite surprised that this set of supers, he's not gone that quick.
Yeah.
Puzzling, actually.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with you. I think I was expecting Melanie to come back into it and challenge Jason for P2 and potentially Ted as well, but he hasn't really gained much on those guys. Ted's still winning by 6 seconds with 4 laps to go, and this will be Ted's 3rd win of the season if he continues at this rate. Unfortunately, of course, the championship is rounded off for SRL. Ginger Andy, sorry, on YouTube. It will be at 8:30, so go check that out as well. So yeah, still sort of 3 1/4 laps to go here, Joe. And yeah, unfortunately, hasn't been the most exciting race. But you know, I personally didn't expect it to be a very exciting race because it's Mexico.
Yeah, the track does throw up some good racing. I mean, we have seen some good little battles, but I feel like with the lack of drivers in this league, and there's a decent gap between a few drivers as well, it doesn't really help. You know, I can imagine this being like this for the last few races of this season. You know, we've got Brazil next, which that could throw up something in the weather can, and you've got Abu Dhabi, which is last, which... Why can't you extend the season at Brazil, actually? Why do we have to... Abu Dhabi is... Have you driven that on this game, like properly?
I've commentated over it in the Noob Journey, but that is the only time I've... oh, no, I drove it in an open lobby, but of course that didn't won 2018 open lobbies. So 2017 open lobbies.
Yeah, it's... I'm just trying to think of things I'd rather do than do another league race at Abu Dhabi. I don't know, swim the channel with a shark behind me all the way. Change my bed sheets for nails. Try. I can't think of anything that bad. Actually can't think of anything that bad to compare it to.
Yeah, it is. Isn't me the F1 season on game and in real life? I think it's very anticlimactical. I think that's a word. But yeah, it's sort of Brazil was always great as a final race, and then money came in. Money came calling to Bernie Eccleston, and they've got a contract for the final race for a couple of years. Unfortunately for us spectators, and the game follows it.
Yeah, I really hope Liberty Media do, you know, of course that contract, I don't know how long that contract's going on for, they can't do anything about it, but hopefully they see sense when the contract does end, and Brazil, or I can't think of another race which would be near the end, but Brazil hopefully will be the final race. It may not be the title decider, which, I mean, the title was actually decided here last year in 2017, strangely enough, so... Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I do remember Adelaide used to have the final race of the season a long time ago. We've also other tracks have had it as well. But yeah, maybe they could just, for league racing, we could swap it round.
I mean, there's no reason why leagues can't.
Yeah, exactly. They can switch it round all they want, really.
It's good that we have the power to do it. Of course, we don't have to be, invest money into it. Just the final round, which we might do. Actually, that's another thing. Dedicated servers. I mean, people are saying they don't mind paying for server. I mean, I know Battlefield have a rent a server sort of thing. I don't know if you've ever done that or played Battlefield. I don't know.
I
Great
played a
game,
bit of
Battlefield 1.
Yeah, did play it.
Yeah, you know, rent a server. I'm very sure people would pay for dedicated servers if they're good, rather than this peer-to-peer stuff. I'll be kind. Yeah, especially with the rise of esports and stuff, it's just not that good, really.
Yeah, it's not good enough. That is the thing. But hopefully, we hope F1 2018 is a little bit better for the. If they just add some servers, that's all we need to improve the multiplayer aspect of this game. They need to stop concentrating on career mode and focus it on multiplayer, because that's where the sport is going for these games. So if Codemasters are listening, probably not, but you know, if someone knows someone who works Codemasters, you can brief them, just tell them that we need to improve the servers. I'm sure they are working on it. I hope they are. Otherwise, I'm not buying the 2018 game.
No, I mean I've met Lee Mather, which is a great experience. So I didn't really ask him.
You were sitting directly behind me for the esports semi-final, weren't you?
Were you there?
Yeah, I was sitting directly in front of you. I looked at your pictures as Ted comes round the final bend to win Mexico Grand Prix. Yeah, no, I was sitting directly in front of you with Matt 212 and Rickson, and I only realised it was you.
Know? How did you not know it was me?
Well, I personally didn't know who you were then, and then I looked on your profile picture.
Rickson would have done. Rickson would have done.
See, I didn't.
No. Were you there when Matiz won his race?
Which one was? I left before the final race.
He was race 2.
Yeah, probably was there then. Yeah.
Yeah, because I shouted up the ticks as loud as I could when he won. Literally at the top of my voice. It was fantastic. I didn't even know, to be honest.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
So I was sat there with Jordan or Joe. I was on Twitter. But yeah, I didn't even know. What a fantastic event. So we sat right next to each other and not even realised what a life we've had.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure next time I'll say hello.
Well, if we're there,
yeah.
Of course we're both gonna be competing in it, of course.
Oh yeah.
This year.
Yeah, I'm hopefully competing for the commentary position rather than the actual racing, because unless I put my foot down, I'm not gonna do very well. But I've got more time this summer to practice.
You might have everyone crash.
You never know. Yeah, that's very true. But yeah, like we said, Ted wins it with Jason in second, Melanie third, and that's the same podium but a different lineup to 2 weeks ago. But Smithson's fourth, Ant Smaz in fifth, most Ronin in sixth, Gorge Crab seventh, Bolton eighth, Expert Almond in ninth. I can't remember who 10th was, and Kimi Räikkönen in 11th, which was Drawmaster, I think. But yeah, that's it was a great start, and then it died down very quickly, Joe.
Yeah, shout out to Most Running as well for not getting a penalty. I'm pointing that one out. That's good achievement.
Yeah, but we will get the drivers in. Yeah, we'll get Ted.
Are you inviting them, or
I will? I've got some of them as friends. Melanie's the only one I have yet. I'm not friends with on Xbox, but I'll invite the other.
I'll invite Melanie for you then.
Fantastic. So there's Jason and Ted's invite. Hopefully we get them in and we can talk to them. We've already got Melanie in, which is fantastic. Ted is coming in, just waiting on Jason, and we can get these podiums. Right, we've got. Right, anyway, so just looking at the chat, but we're all here. If you guys include your audio, that would be fantastic. But yeah, congratulations, Ted, on the win today in Mexico. You had a bit of a great start, and then after the first couple of laps, it was a bit of a chill race for you.
I wouldn't say chill race. Obviously, I had to overtake Melanie on the ultras. I had a feeling he was going to do the two stop, and I didn't know if it was going to work or not. But Jason had an incident at the start which cost him. I reckon he would have won if I think Drawmaster clipped his back end. I think, and then obviously I didn't get damage from that. I don't know how I didn't, but obviously on the last stint I had a race with one of the back markers, which was pretty fun.
Yeah, we did see that with, I think we believe it was Gorge, and with this first place actually you do confirm your position in second place for the championship. I don't think Marizana seems to turn up anymore, so you've got second place secured.
I think he's Wilbur in Japan. I'm not 100% sure. I think he's done with F1 2017 to be honest. But
yeah,
obviously the luck sort of went my way today. not Jason's. But obviously it doesn't matter because he's already won it. But it's nice to get a win, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think luck swings in roundabouts, and it's come your way today. But yeah, congratulations, and I'll hand it over to Joe to talk to Jason.
Yeah, hi Jason. Yeah, difficult race for once actually. I mean, I'm very used to you just having a boring race and winning and getting podiums and stuff whilst doing this, but you actually had an eventful run to second there. We did half see the incident at the start, but like not fully. The broadcast cameras they're good, but they're not great for catching incidents. What can you tell us at the start there?
Yeah, a bit frustrating, but actually, I thought it was just Drawmaster being a bit too aggressive, but actually he just said in the chat that he had a screen freeze and there's absolutely nothing he could have done, and his car just went straight without him actually turning, so that's just really, really unfortunate. I was just in range to get clipped by his front end. But yeah, it was quite a good race after that. I had to overtake quite a few people and didn't quite have the pace to catch up to Ted, but well done to him on the win anyway.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a good drive anyway. I don't know, for a couple of laps thinking, you're going to have quite a fight to get into podium. I mean, you did, but it did actually look quite easy, to be honest. It was quite easy. But anyway, take it away.
Yeah, so Manly, to run off the podium, you were so close to getting that illustrious win, but it looks like the two-stop just didn't work for you.
Yeah, I knew I didn't have like the overall pace on Ted and Jason especially, but I tried to give him a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, you were very, very close to it. Did you feel you left it, you were on the Ultrasoft a little bit too long at the start of the race?
Maybe, yeah. But I just tried to hang it out to see if maybe I could go ultras on the last stint, but I just covered off Ollie and kind of took the P3.
Yeah, it was sort of myself and Joe were noticing you were losing the back end quite a bit towards the end of your stint on the Ultras, and then you were catching Jason towards the end, but it looked like it was a little bit too far for yourself, and unfortunately, but that's another podium. Was that third podium of?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's
Fourth.
No. Third, third. Sorry, I'm looking at the stats.
Oh, yeah, third.
Yeah, so three podiums and all third. So yeah, there's more points for yourself. That's the important thing. But yeah, congratulations to all three drivers on their podium this evening. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the race and the different comedy, I'd say, Joe, with what we talked about this evening. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. And if you want to see some more F1 action, don't forget, like I said, Ginger Andy is on the PS4 stream at 8:30 on YouTube, so go check that out. And thanks Joe for joining me, congratulations drivers, and we will see you next week for the Brazilian Grand Prix for round number 19 of SRL F1. So thanks for watching.